Pearl of the shore. What do you say? Oh, honey, I don't know. He took her lightly by the shoulders as he always did when he wanted her to understand that he was really serious about a thing. Come on, it's going to be mild enough tonight for your prettiest summer dress. I heard it on the weather when I was driving back. And I'll buy you all the champagne you can drink. How can you say no to a deal like that? Well, she considered, then smiled. I guess I can't. 15. They had not just one bottle of very pricey Moet et Chandon but two, and Bob drank most of it. Consequently, it was Darcy who drove home in his quietly humming little Prius while Bob sat in the passenger seat, singing. Pennies from Heaven in his on-key but not particularly melodious voice. He was drunk, she realized. Not just high, but actually drunk. It was the first time she had seen him that way in 10 years. Ordinarily he watched his booze intake like a hawk, and sometimes, when someone at a party asked him why he wasn't drinking, he'd quote a line from True Grit, "I would not put a thief in my mouth to steal my mind." Tonight, high on his discovery of the double date, he had allowed his mind to be stolen, and she knew what she intended to do as soon as he ordered that second bottle of bubbly. In the restaurant, she wasn't sure she could carry it through, but listening to him sing on the way home, she knew. Of course she could do it. She was the darker wife now, and the darker wife knew that what he thought of as his good luck had really been her own. "16. Inside the house he whirled his sport coat onto the tree by the door and pulled her into his arms for a long kiss. She could taste champagne and sweet crème brûlée on his breath. It was not a bad combination, although she knew if things happened as they might, she would never want either again. His hand went to her breast. She let it linger there, feeling him against her, and then pushed him away. He looked disappointed, but brightened when she smiled. "I'm going upstairs and getting out of this dress," she said. "There's Perrier in the refrigerator. If you bring me a glass, with a wedge of lime, you might get lucky, mister." He broke into a grin at that, his old, well-loved grin. Because there was one long-established habit of marriage they had not resumed since the night he had smelled her discovery, yes, smelled it, just as a wise old wolf may smell a poison bait, and come rushing home from Montpelier. Day by day they had walled up what he was, yes, as surely as Montresor had walled up his old pal Fortunato, and sex in the connubial bed would be the last brick. He clicked his heels and threw her a British-style salute, fingers to forehead, palm out. "Yes, ma'am." "Don't be long," she said pleasantly. "Mama wants what Mama wants." Going up the stairs, she thought, "This will never work. The only thing you'll succeed in doing is getting yourself killed. He may not think he's capable of it, but I think he is. Maybe that would be all right, though. Assuming he didn't hurt her first, as he'd hurt those women. Maybe any sort of resolution would be all right. She couldn't spend the rest of her life looking in mirrors. She wasn't a kid anymore, and couldn't get away with a kid's craziness. She went into the bedroom, but only long enough to toss her purse onto the table beside the hand mirror. Then she went out again and called. "Are you coming, Bobby? I could really use those bubbles." "On my way, ma'am, just pouring it over ice." And here he came out of the living room and into the hall, holding one of their good crystal glasses up before him at eye level like a comic opera waiter, weaving slightly as he crossed to the foot of the stairs. He continued to hold the glass up as he mounted them, the wedge of lime bobbing around on top. His free hand trailed lightly along the banister, his face shone with happiness and good cheer. For a moment she almost weakened, and then the image of Helen and Robert Shaverstone filled her mind, hellishly clear, the son and his molested, mutilated mother floating together in a Massachusetts creek that had begun to grow lacings of ice at its sides. "One glass of Perrier for the lady, coming right. She saw the knowledge leap into his eyes at the very last second, something old and yellow and ancient. It was more than surprise, it was shocked fury. In that moment her understanding of him was complete. He loved nothing, least of all her.